The siege has officially begun. For months, we heard whispers of a Cold War brewing behind the gates of Windsor, but the time for polite negotiation is over. King Charles III has taken the gloves off. He has moved from familial pressure to absolute financial strangulation. The instruction from Buckingham Palace to the keeper of the Privy Purse was signed in red ink, and it was final. Cut the lifeline. The £1 million annual living allowance? Gone. The private security team, costing the Crown millions a year? Terminated. The King has effectively removed the financial scaffold that keeps Royal Lodge standing, hoping the weight of the upkeep will crush his brother into submission. But if the King thought the Duke of York would go quietly into the night, moving his bags to a modest cottage like a scolded schoolboy, he made a catastrophic miscalculation. Andrew isn't packing. He's digging in. We are witnessing the most expensive game of chicken in royal history, and the Duke has just placed a £75 million ransom note on the table. Welcome back to Royal Family Daily. If you want the truth behind the headlines and the secrets the palace tries to bury, make sure you like this video and subscribe right now. We investigate what the mainstream media is too afraid to touch. Now, let's get inside the lodge. The situation at Royal Lodge is being described by insiders as a standoff of biblical proportions. The King's strategy was simple: starve him out. By cutting the allowance, Andrew ostensibly has no way to pay the heating bills, the staff, or the repairs on a 30-room mansion that is practically falling down around his ears. The removal of security was the psychological blow, leaving a man paranoid about his safety to fend for himself in a park open to the public. It was supposed to be the checkmate. But Andrew has countered with a move that has left aides at Buckingham Palace clutching their pearls. He has barricaded himself behind a legal fortress constructed 20 years ago, and he is reportedly demanding a surrender package that makes the average lottery win look like pocket change. We are hearing the figure is £75 million. That is the price for the keys. You heard that right. The Duke is allegedly demanding a £75 million settlement, plus a guaranteed top-tier replacement property, specifically targeting a mansion on the Sandringham estate, along with a fully paid-up staff, a chef, and a chauffeur, before he will even consider breaking his lease. It sounds delusional. It sounds like the demands of a man who has lost his grip on reality. But here is the terrifying part for the monarchy. Legally, he might actually be entitled to it. To understand why Andrew has this much leverage, we have to go back to 2003. This is where the legal fortress 2078 was built. Back then, Andrew signed a lease agreement with the Crown Estate that, in hindsight, looks like one of the worst business deals the monarchy ever authorised. It was a sweetheart deal. Andrew made a single, lump sum payment of £1 million. In exchange, he secured a peppercorn rent status. That means he pays almost nothing to live in a royal palace. But the kicker is the duration. The lease runs until 2078. This is the document holding the lodge hostage. It creates a total legal stalemate. The Crown Estate cannot simply evict him because they want to rent the place out for market value. They signed away that right 2 decades ago. Andrew effectively owns the rights to the ground he walks on for another 54 years. He plans to die in that house, and his lease says he can. The £75 million figure isn't pulled out of thin air. It is Andrew's calculation of the lease's value, plus the cost of the renovations he claims to have paid for with his own money over the years. He is telling the king, "You want the house back? Buy me out." However, the king has found a crack in the armour. It's called Weaponized decay. If they can't evict him on the lease duration, they have to evict him on a breach of contract. And every lease, Even a royal one has maintenance covenants. You have to keep the property in good order. This is where the siege of Royal Lodge turns physical. The Crown Estate is now reportedly sending independent surveyors to document the rotting of the mansion. We've seen the telephoto images published in the press. They are damning, spreading black mould climbing the exterior walls, peeling paint that hasn't been touched in a decade, crumbling masonry on the main terrace. The house is dying. The King's strategy is now to prove that Andrew is failing his duty of care. It's a strategy of dilapidations. If the repair bill is estimated at £2 million, which is the current rumour, and Andrew cannot pay it because his allowance is cut, he is in breach of lease. That is the kill switch. But just when the palace thought they had him cornered financially, a twist emerged that shocked Sir Michael Stevens, the keeper of the privy purse. Andrew isn't broke, or at least he's claiming he isn't. In a move that has sparked panic regarding national security and diplomatic protocols, Andrew claims to have secured legitimate funding to replace the King's allowance. This is the era of the shadow financiers. The Duke has told friends he has the money to stay, sourced from international trade contacts. This raises the most urgent question of all. Who is bankrolling Prince Andrew? Is it a Middle Eastern sovereign wealth connection? Is it an oligarch with ties to unsavoury regimes? A senior royal living in a state of diplomatic limbo, being funded by a foreign entity, is a security nightmare. It compromises the King. It compromises the government. If Andrew is taking money from external sources to fight his own brother, he has gone rogue in a way we haven't seen since the days of Edward VIII. He is essentially privatising his royalty to the highest bidder to keep a roof over his head. And while the financial war rages, the ghosts of the past are circling back with a vengeance. The January files are looming. Newly unsealed US documents from early 2026 have shattered the Duke's previous timeline of events. These aren't just old accusations, these are flight logs and correspondence. The FBI is still watching. The Department of Justice hasn't closed the file. The new documents reveal interactions with Ghislaine Maxwell that extend far beyond what Andrew admitted to during that car crash Newsnight interview. The palace knows that as long as Andrew is in the spotlight, fighting for this house, he is a lightning rod for the DOJ. They want him hidden. They want him gone. But by fighting him, they are keeping him on the front page. This leads us to the nuclear option. This is the scenario that keeps the courtiers awake at night. There is a profound fear inside the palace that if Charles pushes the eviction too hard, if he sends the bailiffs in, he will trigger Andrew's nothing to lose response. Andrew feels betrayed. He feels abandoned. A man with nothing left to lose is a dangerous man. Palace insiders are whispering about the threat of a memoir. Imagine it. Spare was damaging, but Harry was an outsider. Andrew knows where the real bodies are buried. He knows the secrets of the last 40 years. Or, perhaps worse, a second interview. A redemption attempt that torches the King's reputation in the process. Andrew believes he has been made a scapegoat for the family's survival. If they take his home, he might decide to burn the whole house down, metaphorically speaking. The public reaction? It's ferocious. The hashtag Prince and the peppercorn is trending, and the optics are a disaster for the monarchy. You have a country in the grip of a housing crisis. Rents are skyrocketing. Families are being evicted. And here is a disgraced prince, sitting alone in a 30-room mansion, demanding millions, eating silver service dinners while the walls rot around him. It is, let them eat cake levels of tone deafness. Every day, Andrew stays in the lodge. He chips away at the popularity of the new king. It paints Charles as weak for not being able to manage his own brother, and it paints the institution as greedy and out of touch. The king needs to act fast. But Andrew has the lease. He has the shadow money. And he has the secrets. The £75 million ransom is on the table. The question is, who blinks first? Does Charles pay the money to make the problem vanish, fueling the public rage? Or does he let the rot continue, risking a nuclear explosion of secrets from the Duke of York? This is a high-stakes poker game played with the Crown's reputation. And right now, Andrew is holding an ace that the king didn't see coming. What do you think? Should the king pay him off just to get him out? Or should he drag him through the courts and risk the secrets coming out? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for Royal Family Daily. We'll be tracking every move in the siege of Royal Lodge. Until next time.